It drives me crazy. What in the world? 5 of the exact same picture. They're all the same. They're all the same. Look at that. These are all the same. Like, are you kidding me? They're all the same. I'm like, it's actually shocking. These are all different shops. Etsy has just rejected her claim, and these people can just stay up. Okay, Etsy, if you're watching, fix it. Fix the problem. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm a little peeved today, and I just wanted to like sit down and record this video. It's gonna be a little bit jumbled because I'm just like peeved. I didn't put myself together, so I'm just here talking to you. Etsy has a huge problem, and I'm getting so pissed off at Etsy because Etsy used to be a place where, you know, the handmade items and like it made you feel closer to whoever's producing that product. However, now it's become just an absolute garbage pit of who knows what. Drop shipping, just AI art, people stealing other people's products and just selling them as their own. And this is kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today, because it is absolutely ridiculous. And if you are a person that purchases patterns from Etsy, please listen. Please listen to me, and please try and do the research to figure out if what you're purchasing is actually from the designer themselves. Let me tell you how this all started. This is not new to me. I used to sell fan art on my Etsy shop a while ago. I have since stopped, and I haven't sold fan art for a very long time, and all of my fan art patterns are now free or up on YouTube or Ravelry, and I'm transitioning them over to Ribbler, but I don't really sell any fan art at all. I'm not here to police what you do, and if you sell fan art, that's up to you. I'm not Pokemon, I'm not Studio Ghibli, I'm not any of these people, so I can't tell you yes you can or yes you can't reproduce these products. I'm just telling you what I made the decision to do for myself. So I have these patterns that I have listed for free on Ravelry. So I have like my Charizard pattern, I have my Bulbasaur pattern, I've got a few things, and even like the content that I put here on YouTube, you know, the pattern's in the description. There's nothing stopping anyone from really taking it, even though you shouldn't. Still doesn't belong to you. But people steal my stuff and people steal my free pattern, and they put it up onto Etsy and they claim it as their own, and they sell it for, I don't know, $5, $2, whatever it is, and they just sell it. And so every couple of months I will go through the trouble of searching through Etsy, just painstakingly typing in Charizard or Bulbasaur crochet pattern, and usually I will find a pattern that comes up that is mine, and they are my pictures, and they're just selling them as their own. Recently I'm in contact, I guess, like back and forth with a creator called palefoxcrafts, and they are like so talented. I'm gonna switch you over to so I can show you their Instagram. But this is their content that they make, and they design these patterns like beautiful, like absolutely gorgeous, like so beautiful patterns, like so talented, so incredibly talented. Like, I'm just in awe of, I think her name's Beatrice. I'm in awe every single time. She's a wonderful designer. But specifically, this one, she has mentioned, has been stolen a lot. And we'll go back and forth. Like, sometimes I'll tell her that her pattern's stolen. Sometimes she'll tell me that my pattern is stolen. But recently she posted on Instagram that she is taking down like all of her fan art patterns. And like just leaving it. Like, a lot of people are stealing the patterns, she's just taking it down, and it's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. And so I'm like looking through, and she's told me about 2 shops that have stolen both of our patterns, because we've kind of got some overlap. We both have Pokemon content, right? So the two shops that we were talking about is this one. I'm going to call them out. I just don't even care anymore. Is this one and this one. This one's not even like put together with like the AI generated picture. Like, I'm not sure if this is a real human. It's probably not. It could be like an AI generated photo. Because I know people do that as well. But these two actually had patterns that were just straight pulled my picture, straight pulled her picture, and we're just like selling the PDF pattern. And this is so common and that we deal with all the time. And oh yeah, see, like, it's right here. They have since taken it down. So I just have an old like version of this page. So if I refresh the page, it's gone. This is mine. What they've done is they have just replaced the background and they have stolen my picture and they are selling the PDF pattern that I put out for free on Ravelry. So, you know, that's something. But what you'll also notice is that all of these are like different styles. Like there is this is fluffy yarn, which like I know people use fluffy yarn and normal yarn, but these are all different styles. Like they're not the same style at all. They definitely didn't come from the creator. So right off the bat, so like we know that most of this is stolen, if not all of it. And the big thing is that they're getting sales, 149 sales, just because they have sheer amount of content. Like there's a lot of patterns here. Like it keeps going. Palefox, so Beatrice's pattern was here. Mine was here. The other designer, oh my God, I just called them designer. The other scammer also stole a bunch of our patterns and has since taken them off because I aggressively requested them to. Like you can see here, like this is a very different pattern than this. Like these are not the same designer. You click on this, it says Paintbox Yarns on it. It's a pattern that you can get through Paintbox Yarns. Like they didn't even go through the trouble of cropping the image. That's how like disgusting it is. Disgusting. And you want to know what Etsy does about it? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because the only thing that you can really do, if you are not me, let's say I've told you about this and you're like, I want to help out. How can I help out? The only thing that you can do is you can say, report this shop to Etsy. And now you have to choose a reason. Okay, what's the reason? There's a problem with my order. Well, I didn't buy anything, so there's not an affiliated order. They're using my intellectual property without permission. Well, I'm just a random I'm just, you know, if I'm not me and I've just told you something and I'm you. So you're like, well, it's not my intellectual property. And then the last option is they sell items that don't meet Etsy's policies. And this is kind of what I tell people to do, is to go into here and then I tell people to click this button because it's not any of these. Like it's technically craft supply. It's not vintage. Like it has nothing to do with vintage. It has nothing to do with like the handmade. Like it's a pattern, it's a supply, and it's not properly labeled as mature that's not what that is. And so you kind of have to just click here and then describe what the situation is, and then you can report the shop. However, this does not help. This straight up doesn't help. It's absolutely broken and garbage, and they don't do anything with this. At least in my opinion. You know, according to me, I don't know the background. They can come and say, no, we actually do stuff. But like, it feels like, in my opinion, that they don't actually do anything here. So there's really nothing if I told you about this situation, there's nothing you can do about it. For me, on the other hand, if I wanted to take down a listing, the process is a little more tricky. So I would have to go into, like, let's say this was mine. Let's say that was mine. I would have to go into this listing and I would have to try to find the link where it says right at the very bottom, report this item to Etsy. What's wrong with the listing? It uses my intellectual property without permission. This is where it gets tricky though. Pokemon doesn't belong to me, right? But the images do. Those are my pictures. So, you know, I guess you could technically reach out to Pokemon and be like, hey, they're selling this thing. But you know, that could backfire on you. I don't know. But I say that they're definitely using my pictures without my permission. And then they don't even give you a link here. They're like, okay, well, you have to follow this intellectual property policy. And you're like, okay, just give me the link to do it. Give it to me. Where is it? And it's like they make you like search through, and they've recently come up with this reporting portal, which I have not figured out yet. I don't know. I looked into it for a little bit and then I panicked and then I left. They still have this reporting form available to use, but I think they're going to be taking it down soon. So this reporting form, absolutely garbage. Okay, so these are the 4 options that you have to deal with. You own the rights to. Okay, so you could do a report on that. A third-party company or organization owns the right to. Yeah, that would be my situation because I don't own Pokemon, right? Oh, no, you can't. Sorry. You can't. You must be authorized to act on behalf of the intellectual property owner. So you can't report that. A company or organization that you represent owns the rights to. I'm not affiliated with Pokemon. Or none of the above. Sorry. You just can't. The only thing that they say in house rules or whatever is like, try and reach out to the shop owner and get them to take it down. They usually don't respond. Okay, they usually don't respond. In this situation with these 2 shops, they definitely did respond. I was a little bit aggressive with it, but you know, you sometimes have to be a little aggressive. So the only thing that you can really do here is you own the rights to. And then you can begin your report. You put in your name, your company. You don't have to do these 2, I guess, but you have to put in all of your address and contact information. And then I'm not going to fill this out because I'm not reporting that thing because it's not mine, right? If it's mine, then I can do it, but I can't do it for someone's pattern on paintbox.com or wherever it came from. And then what you'll have to do is report what is the intellectual property that you are referring to, and then you have to reference what materials are being infringed upon. So that shop and that pattern, you have to like copy and paste that link, and then you have to sign off on it. And what used to happen is after you submit this whole thing, the listing would be automatically just taken down and the shop owner would be notified of it and they have the choice to put it back up again, but it's automatically taken down by Etsy. No longer that is not the case. So now what happens is I think because it takes days now for it to be taken down. Days go by and then sometimes it's taken down, or sometimes, as Beatrice has informed me of, sometimes they just reject it and they leave up this infringing material on their site, which is very good, very legal, absolutely okay. Because I don't think they care. They are getting the sales from that item being sold anyways. They just take it, right? Like the item sells and they get all of the fees that are associated with that sale. No big deal for them, right? Drives me bonkers. When I was talking to Beatrice, she was going through a whole lot of issues with her patterns being taken and being sold. And I didn't quite understand the extent of it. She's no longer selling her patterns because of ridiculous stuff like this. What in the world? Are you kidding? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the exact same picture across the board, and I can guarantee you that Beatrice, palefoxcrafts, the original designer of this pattern, has tried to report every single one of these, and here they are. And like, here's the other part of this, is that I feel like some of these are people that just have their account stolen. Why is there a jewelry person selling exclusively amigurumi? Doesn't make sense. So I feel like some of these people have had their accounts stolen or something. Like, it just doesn't make sense. What do you mean a jewelry company? But like, this is Palefox, this is Palefox. I think this one's Palefox too. This one's Palefox. Like, none of these belong to this person. None of them. And of course they're going to get good reviews because they're actually good patterns. So yeah, all of these people have stolen a bunch of their patterns, and it's actually like the Everyday Nature collection. Come on. Infinity Apothecary. They're all the same. They're all the same. Look at that. Disgusting. So Beatrice has told me that Etsy has just rejected her claim and these people can just stay up. Okay. Like these are all the same. Like, are you kidding me? They're all the same. I'm like, it's actually shocking to like see it. So like, look at this. Look at this. Like, these are all different shops. These are all different shops. And Etsy's just been like, yep, they're okay to go ahead and sell these things. Yep, that's fine. So if you are in my situation and you find out that your patterns are being stolen on Etsy and being resold or whatever it is, here are my steps to success. Actually, they don't always succeed, but here's what I have found to be the best method for taking these down. Essentially, I have kind of boiled down what I do into 6 steps. So step number 1 is to identify your pattern. So I kind of search through Etsy every once in a while. Sometimes people will tell me that one of my patterns is stolen, or whatever it is. So step 2 is I go ahead and message them, message the shop and demand that they take down the pattern. I'm usually not too friendly about this either because they know what they're doing. At least I hope they know what they're doing. They definitely know what they're doing. Okay, they're stealing content and putting them up as their own. So I message them and I show them that that's my product or my free pattern, and you're selling them without my permission. You're taking my pictures without permission, and you can't sell that. I usually don't wait too long either. I tend to go on to step 3 pretty quickly because it's my pattern. I have it for free and they shouldn't be selling it. Step 3 is to report. So I use the reporting form. Apparently that's not going to be around for much longer, so I'm going to have to figure out this portal situation. It used to be, like I said, that these reports would take it down immediately. However, now it's taking a long time, it seems. I feel like there's a human reviewing it. And then step 4, while I'm waiting for that report to take effect, I go ahead and I tell my community and post on my Discord, post on Instagram, and I try and get people to mass report this shop because they're stealing many people's patterns. Step 5, a little bit aggressive for step 5, but I essentially cold call the reviewers of the patterns that are at least mine. So if I notice in their reviews that someone has reviewed my Clefairy pattern or my Charizard pattern, then I will reach out to them by clicking on their name and I will send them a message explaining the situation very nicely. I think it's very nice. And I just say, hey, sorry to bother you. I just wanted to let you know that these patterns are my patterns and I make them available for free. It looks like you reviewed them on XYZ shop, and just telling you in case you wanted to help out by changing your review, or and like essentially letting other shoppers know that this person is stealing other people's patterns. And I say, no worries, sorry to bother you again, and thank you. Step number 5 actually gives a pretty good effect because a lot of people will respond and be like, thank you so much for letting me know. I really appreciate that. And like, I'm changing my review. And I think this helps in like the grand scheme of things to like deter people from purchasing these patterns. Obviously it's not going to work out every single time, but I feel like it's a good intermediate solution while Etsy tries to do something, I guess. And then unfortunately step 6 is to just wait. I have a really amazing community of people in my Discord and through Twitch that have gone through the lengths to like protect me, my patterns, and other people's patterns, and like posting on Reddit. But like the awareness that we need for this this topic, it needs to be way higher. And the only thing that you can do if you are shopping, if you are like purchasing off of Etsy, the only thing that you can really do is to do a reverse Google lookup, image search of every pattern that you intend to buy, and just making sure that it is from the right people. It's hard when you are a small crafter or crochet designer, and you only have a couple hundred or 100 sales, or even less because you're just starting out. I feel like you're not as reliable as some with like 2,000 or whatever. But a lot of these shops just have the sheer amount of just patterns that they accumulate all these sales so easily. So it's not even like, oh, I can trust someone that has 500 sales and five-star reviews. They're good patterns because other people have designed them. And these people have like 200 listings, which is also a huge red flag. 200 listings that obviously they're going to get some hits, and they're going to get some people purchasing them. It's ridiculous. And the two shops that I was referring to at the beginning I'm just trying to like deep dive and do reverse Google image searches to figure out where these patterns are coming from. And a lot of them are just free patterns around the internet. And then I go back and I message them, please take it down. Please take it down. And one of them, every single time I ask, so let me show you our chat. Every single time I have asked them, okay, I'll remove it. And I'm like, this one belongs to palefoxcrafts. Okay, I'll remove it. Okay. Like, I'm just constantly sending them, please remove it. And I'm just like, just take down your shop. Just take down your shop. This is ridiculous. Some people have the audacity to just say, oh, I actually just hire someone to make these patterns, and they said that they made this pattern. For example, this one that we were talking about earlier, there's my pattern. I go ahead and I contact them and I tell them that that's my pattern. And then I get someone to do it, and she said she did. I'll search and remove. And I said, these are my patterns. Also, it should not be a surprise that this is coming to you because you're stealing many patterns. And then I tell them that this one's stolen too. And they're saying, my maker said she got some patterns from somewhere else. I'm removing them. Let me show you this situation. So I did a reverse Google image search of this one. So the way that you do it is you essentially can just right click the image, and then you can press copy image. And then if you go to Google, you can press this little search by image button. And then I just click this gray box and I press Control V, and it'll upload that picture. So when I did this, I found this like Flickr post that was like super similar. Like, it looks really similar. So anyways, I clicked on this, and then I ended up later, like scrolling through a little bit, I found this picture, and it's just by someone named Gloria, I guess. Hello, Gloria. But I don't know if you can tell, but those seem very similar. I don't know if you can see that. They look a little bit similar. So I, of course, scroll down, and someone asked for the pattern, and lovely Gloria references the pattern, and I go ahead and I click on it, and oh, there it is. And guess who it is not by? Very interesting. So they do mention in their Flickr post that they've adapted the pattern a little bit, but those pictures just are random pictures that they found on the internet, and then they took this PDF pattern and are selling it on their Etsy shop. Does not belong to them. So what I did is I wrote up a whole spiel to all of these reviewers, and I messaged all of them, cold calling all of them, and I said, hey, this is stolen. Here is the proof. And you know, some people do respond, and they usually say, like, thank you so much, like, I'll change my review. And I just hope that it helps long term get these shops shut down, because it's It's wild. It's wild out here. It drives me crazy, and sometimes I just have to leave them, but it's gross and I hate it. What I'm trying to get at here, if you are a pattern purchaser and you are purchasing patterns on Etsy, please just try and do a little bit of research to make sure that you're supporting the right people. Another option is to just boycott Etsy and go to crazy places like Ribbler or Ravelry. Some people have some issues with Ravelry, which is fine, but Ribbler is a great place for a lot of different patterns, and a lot of people and designers are transitioning over there. So I don't know, try Ribbler instead of Etsy. If you do notice that like this pattern is being stolen and you do know the designer, reach out to them, tell them, let them know that their pattern is being stolen, and pass them on a link, because at least then they can try and report it themselves. And then if you are a designer and you notice that your stuff is being stolen, I don't know, try these 6 steps, see if it helps. Let me know if it helps. If you guys have any other ideas of what you guys do to get these listings taken down, let me know in the comments. Or if you've like noticed anything that helps, I would love to know. Etsy's just being taken over by just horrible people, dropshippers, a bunch of stuff, and the amount of like genuine small creators that are just like trying to make a living sometimes is just like so tiny now. It's just, it makes me sad. Thank you for listening. I'm gonna try and edit this. This was like a whole rant, and I don't even know if people are even gonna get to this part of the video, but if you are here, thank you for listening and watching. Etsy, if you're watching, fix it. Fix the problems. They're like just obvious problems that people have been complaining about forever. But obviously Etsy's not watching. This is the tiniest video, so so thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.